parents left me home alone for a week. That wasn't unusual. They both traveled for work, sometimes for a few days, sometimes longer. I'd stayed by myself plenty of times before, and nothing bad had ever happened. I knew the routine. Lock the doors, don't answer the phone after dark, feed the dog, go to school, repeat. By the third night, everything still felt normal. I was on the couch in the living room, legs tucked under a blanket, a movie playing quietly because I didn't want to wake the neighbors. The house was dark, except for the TV glow and the lamp beside me. That's when I heard it. It came from upstairs, not loud, not rushed, just light, uneven taps, like someone walking carefully, trying not to make noise. I didn't panic at first. My dog, Milo, was always sneaking around upstairs, knocking into things, pacing for no reason. I glanced toward the staircase without much thought, then I looked to my left. Milo was on the floor beside the couch, curled up, fast asleep. His chest rose and fell slowly, paws twitching as he dreamed. The tapping stopped. I froze. I told myself it was the house settling. Old homes make noises all the time. I turned my attention back to the movie, turned the volume up just a little to drown out the silence. About 10 minutes passed. Then I heard it again. This time it sounded closer to the top of the stairs. My stomach tightened. I muted the TV and held my breath, listening. The sound continued, slow and deliberate, like someone testing each step before putting their weight down. "Milo?" I whispered, even though I could see him right there. He didn't move. I stood up, every nerve buzzing, and grabbed my phone. I told myself I'd just take a quick look, just to prove there was nothing there. The upstairs hallway was dark, colder than the rest of the house. I flipped on the light and scanned the doors. Bathroom, my parents' room, nothing out of place. Then I noticed the attic hatch. It was in the ceiling at the end of the hallway. I'd walked past it 1,000 times and never thought about it. That night, the latch wasn't fully caught in the groove. It hung just slightly askew. I stared at it for a long time, waiting for it to slide open. It didn't. I went back downstairs, locked my bedroom door, and dragged a chair under the handle. I barely slept. The next day, I tried to convince myself I'd imagined everything, but when I came home from school, the house felt heavier. The air was stale. That night, I was brushing my teeth when I heard it again, scraping this time, like fingernails dragging lightly across wood. It came from directly above my head. I froze, toothpaste dripping down my chin. Then came a soft thump, something shifting weight. I didn't look up. I rinsed my mouth, turned off the light, and went straight to my room. I sat on my bed holding Milo while he trembled in my arms. We stayed like that for hours, walking, scratching, sometimes a soft, wet cough, so quiet I wasn't sure I was really hearing it. By the 5th morning, the denial finally broke. I woke up and saw it. On the hardwood floor of the hallway, right beneath the attic hatch, was a small pile of dust and a single, muddy boot print. I didn't investigate. I didn't pack a bag. I grabbed Milo, unlocked the front door, and sprinted barefoot across the lawn to my neighbor's house, pounding on their door until they opened. When the police arrived, they went in with guns drawn. They didn't come out for a long time. When the officer finally sat me down, he looked pale. He told me they found a man named Elias Vance living in the crawl space. He was a drifter who had done roofing work on our street the previous month. He hadn't just broken in while my parents were away. Based on the food wrappers and the nest of insulation he'd built, he had been up there for 3 weeks. He had been living above us while my parents were still home, listening to us eat dinner, watching us watch TV. He had entered through a rotted gable vent on the roof that was hidden by the chimney, a space so tight the police didn't understand how he fit through it. But the worst part wasn't the nest. It wasn't the knife they found or the fact that he was looking for a permanent place to stay during the winter. It was what they found directly above my bed, and Vance had used a hand drill to bore a tiny hole through the plaster of my ceiling, concealed by the patterns and the popcorn texture. He hadn't been tapping because he was walking around. He was tapping because he was kneeling on the joists, pressing his eye to the floor. The officer handed me a small digital camera they found in his bedroll. "We need you to identify if these were taken inside the house," he said softly. I clicked the button. The first photo was of the hallway. The second was of me, sitting on the couch 2 weeks ago. The last photo was taken from above. It was a bird's eye view of my bedroom, taken through the hole in the ceiling. In the photo, I was asleep in my bed, but looking closely at the image, I saw something that made my blood run cold. In the picture, my eyes were open. I was staring right up at the ceiling, looking directly into the lens, completely unaware that he was inches away, breathing in the dark, waiting for me to fall back asleep.